What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge in 5. Now, I know many of you are probably saying, Coach, it's Friday. You don't normally do this show. No, I normally don't. But today, I canceled a tea time. Today, I put my personal life on the back burner because when I make you a promise at home, I keep it. Mike in the chat says this, front row seat for the beatdown Coach puts on EC. That's exactly what's about to happen. Thank you, Mike. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love him. We're going 5 wide. That might be the only thing that saves him today. Oh, we've got Zack Attack, the Maestro, the Speculator, one half of Frickin' Frack, and then, of course, EC. Does anybody have any comments on what EC did to the show last night? Anybody else before I jump in?
What? I just thought it was interesting that he sent in a slew of, combo parlays with, alt lines and then had some big change of heart. And I think he might have gotten word that you canceled the tea time.
That might be to try to backtrack and make things better. But once I canceled the tea time, it didn't matter what else he did. I was already hot. But you know what made me laugh a little bit before we get to our picks? And I know I'm taking a little bit of time. But as many of you know out there, I have a showdown with said EC in golf. Bracket versus bracket. I sent him the wrong bracket. And so for 2 days, EC's been talking trash. And he goes, Coach, got to be very careful. You have Thagala in the finals. I didn't send him my bracket. This is my bracket, EC. And my final 4, very much alive. My final 2, very much alive. Are yours?
No. My finalist is there, Scheffler, who I have winning it. Everything else is a disaster. I'm going to be sitting there watching Billy Horschel and John Rahm all afternoon because it's the only chance I have at potentially beating you. The levels are not going so well for me right now. And by the way, speaking of levels, I got a learning last night. I learned a little bit when I tried to mess with the Maestro because I'm now $100 poorer to one Larry.
It'll come back to you. It's okay.
But I'm not messing with him again.
Hey, believe me, when it happens, he will talk like you remember back in high school and you had that kid that wouldn't say anything until he won and then he'd say it before. That's what Maestro does. Believe me, he'll let you know. It's okay because that's what we do. You got to be able to take it.
It's funny, Coach, because your Venmo came in just a couple minutes after EC's.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there is last night I didn't even respond because he acts like a 10th grader. He goes, I'm still waiting on coaches. I never put him on blast ever. But if we want to play that way, I'm happy to play that way. But talking trash is an art form, and that's not talking trash. That's just being messy.
By the way, I have learned when I send my Venmo payments to make them private for a reason.
I don't even care about that. I just care about putting stuff in the chat with 30 other people. But that's okay. I've been here since day one, just like Maestro. So with all that being said, Zack, Speculator, I apologize. A complete waste of time the last 4 minutes, unless you really enjoy good entertainment. All right, now, let's get into it. Speculator, once again, doing what you do. So you, sir, have the floor first. You're up.
Yeah, we're going to start off here. San Diego State, Alabama, over 137. Now, I went to all the models I could again because yesterday, all 3 models said the over in the Tennessee game. And unless Maestro doesn't like this, we're gonna roll with it, all right? Because Maestro was right on that one. We're going. The AI has a 143 prediction total. M Squared Sim has 141. The SportsLine Sim has 140. We are all on the over here. San Diego State has done a great job holding both of their opponents in the tournament under 60 points. But that was the 12th seeded Charleston and 13th seeded Furman. Not the number 1 seeded Alabama, who ranked 5th in the nation in points per game at 82.3 points per game. But the big decider for me on this one was Bama's ability to get to the free throw line. They ranked 14th in the nation with 23 attempts per game and 16.7 makes per game. That's 17 points with 0 time off the clock. That is really going to ramp up the points, and that's why we're on the over today.
You know, Speculator, you don't even realize it. When you're doing people a solid, you don't even know what you do. How about I read this from the chat? Matt says, I just realized that I placed Mikey's San Diego State, Bama over 134.5 twice. Well, if you're going to accidentally double up on a bet, it's certainly preferable to do it on one with 4 points of CLV. Well, I don't even know what that last line means, but I know this. Speculator, you now made Matt feel a whole lot better.
You should feel good about that. You should feel good. It's
right. Because right now he has it at 134.5. It's already up to 137.
Yeah, I think it actually might even go. I think it's going up. I think it's right on the edge, depending where you go, 137 or 137.5. Which, by the way, I'd go up to 138, and that's where I'd stop.
He's a man. That's what he does. Matt, you're welcome. All right, up next, Zack Attack. I saw a little post on Twitter from you the other day, and you said, "Remember when I said this about Kansas State?" And then you got hot. Explain yourself, and also, what is your pick today, sir?
Yeah, actually, I picked Kansas State for the regional odds on our show last week too with Coach and Larry. I don't know if you remember that, Coach, but 11-1 as well. But today I'm going to take the Houston Cougars -7. I do recommend buying the hook against the Miami Hurricanes. And you look at the Miami Hurricanes, their first round. I think you have to evaluate their spreads. The first round, just a 2-point favorite against Drake. Second round, they were the underdogs against Indiana. They shouldn't have survived against Drake. They were down by 8 points with 5 minutes to go. Were able to come back and get that win. And then you examine their tail end of the season. They came into this tournament not playing good basketball. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Duke. And they had 2 close wins sandwiched in between there. A 2-point win over Pittsburgh, a 2-point win over Wake Forest. So they came into the tournament playing ugly basketball. Shouldn't have beat Drake. And then he beat an overrated Indiana team. We saw this all throughout the tournament. Big Ten got love. ATS-wise, Indiana was a 12-loss team. Miami was the better team. But you go against Houston, team that's been there so many times. They are a better offensive team than they get credit for. And I just think they're going to pull away. Sampson's one of the best in-game coaches in this tournament. They're going to find a way to X's and O's wise, whether it's early, whether it's the middle of the game, whether it's late, they will pull away from this number. Let's grab Houston by the hook, -7.
By the hook. Taylor says Zach told us take K-State to the Sweet 16. Cash that one 6-1. Thanks, Zach. There you go, Zach.
I don't know if I said that, but I do know I said the regional and the future long shot 50-1.
Well, the regional is Sweet 16, right? That would have to be. They'd have to go to Sweet 16 to win the regional. Yes, they would.
Well, yes, they would. Right.
Yes,
right.
They would. 100% they would.
Right.
I've never.
But yeah, if you take that advice and take the Sweet 16,
yeah,
go for it. Go for it.
That's what he's saying. I've never seen a team make it to the Final Four that hasn't gone to the Sweet 16. I don't think it's ever happened. All right, now EC, I know that you think you run the show, and I know you think that you should go last every single day, but there's a little problem because the last spot is called the Maestro spot. So you, sir, are not going last today, but I love your picks. I really, really do. I really, really do. So you, sir, are up. What do you got?
Well, thanks, Coach. First of all, I had Texas. I put Texas on the site -4. I had to fade Sean Miller just because I dealt with years of torture with him in the NCAA tournament as an Arizona fan. Just can't anymore. So I see Najad had that on the morning show. I know that the Maestro likes it as well. So I also kind of like Texas. That's another play. But the two that I'm giving out today, Princeton and Creighton over 140.5. Now, Princeton, I'm still bitter about what they did to my Wildcats last Thursday, but they have scored 70+ in 13 of their last 16 games. Creighton has scored 70+ in 9 of their last 12. Creighton has 23 wins on the season. In 20 of them, they've scored 72 or more. Princeton has given up more than 70 points in all 8 losses this season, and Creighton has scored more than 75 in 20 of their 35 games. So what I'm all leading to is Creighton is scoring at least 75 tonight. I think Princeton scores there about 65. And I think it probably more than that. I say like 78 to 67. I think this goes over by about 5 points. I think this game is played in the 140s, and I think this total is a little low. And then tomorrow, I absolutely love this play. In fact, this is like not a bet your house play, but like if I had a house to bet that I really wanted to, I would consider doing the Gonzaga UConn over 153.5. So get this. Gonzaga is 29-0 when scoring 75 or more points this year. UConn is 18-2 when scoring 75 or more this year. Combined, they played 72 games, and these two teams have scored 75 or more in 51 of those 72 games. That's 71% of the time. I think they both score at least 75 tomorrow. In fact, I think it goes into the 80s, and we're playing in the 160s tomorrow. I love this bet. So take the over.
And it begs the question. You played Gonzaga under last night. As I told you, it would go to the over because UCLA can still score.
I had a chance. By the way,
also an outline.
I had a chance at that under.
It was close. It was close.
They didn't score they didn't make a basket for 11 minutes.
But I want people to know at home that I'm not a savage. I'm not the fun police that don't want you to enjoy what EC has to offer. So here's what we're going to do. What is your, we see it right there, at Cohen's Corner AZ. I encourage all of you, give it a follow, because in about an hour, you're going to see some same game parlays posted there. The same ones that EC wanted to play here on the show. So you'll still get them. You'll just get them on social media. Is that cool with you, EC?
I love it, Coach. I'm all for it.
There you go. I'm a giver. See, everybody wins. Everybody wins, except for those of you who play the parlays that will lose. But you'll still give them out. All right. Now, we've made this man wait long enough. Maestro, floor is yours, big boy.
Okay, in the NBA tonight, I'm looking at the Wizards and the Spurs, a must-win for the Wizards. And Denny Avdija from Israel, 6'9" forward, great defender, but also a great playmaker with great vision. He's going to get 30-plus minutes because no Bradley Beal, no Kyle Kuzma. Him and Kispert are playing a ton. This is a great matchup for him. He had one matchup with the Spurs already, came off the bench to score 25 with 9 boards and an assist. He's averaged 29 PRA in his last 2 games playing these minutes. This is a cake matchup against a tanking team, over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Trying to go 6-0 on these props on the site. And then tomorrow night in the NCAA. This one, Gonzaga burned me last night. I was on UCLA. They were my champion. Everybody knows that who follows us. But Bona being out, which I did not expect. I thought he would give him 20 minutes. That was huge because Timmy, could not be stopped, and he was setting up everyone. And the offensive rebounds, 16 offensive rebounds. The Zags completely dominated the glass. Not going to happen against the Huskies. They rebound 78% of their misses. That's 27th nationally. They have Klingon, who's 7'2". They have Sonogo. They have Caravan. They have the size to play Drew Timmy one-on-one and not leave those shooters open. UConn's been the best team in the first part of the season, and now since February 1st, they are again the best team. They've blown everyone out. This won't be a blowout. It'll be tight, but I think UConn wins by 6 or 8. I'm going to lay 2 points, and I'm already seeing 2.5.
Yeah, I think UConn is the best team remaining, with all due respect to Alabama and Houston, number 1 seeds. UConn's playing the best. Last night was a near perfect performance from start to finish. Blowing out Arkansas by 23 points, that's big time. That is big time.
I'll take a showdown on that. If they play in the Final Four, I'll take Houston all day over UConn. All day. Every day.
You gotta admit, he doesn't stop firing.
No, he does not. He does not. Are they even on the
right?
Yeah. Are they in the same bracket? Would they meet?
They probably do. They probably
in the Final Four. In the Final Four, they would meet.
Oh my goodness. Well, clearly they would meet at some point
in the semifinals. Semifinals.
Oh my gosh! All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. This looks glorious to me. EC, Princeton, Creighton over 140.5. We talked about it yesterday. Teams are not nervous anymore. That leads to overs. 3 of the 4 overs came in last night. Tonight, I think we'll see more of the same. At least 3 come in. This will be one of them. Gonzaga, UConn over 153.5. That game is tomorrow. Then the speculator, San Diego State, Alabama over 137. This is a gift, an absolute gift. Everybody thinks San Diego State's the same team from years past that just plays defense. They can score too. This is a gift, and speculator found it for you. Merry Christmas. Then the Maestro, UConn -2 tomorrow. Then tonight, over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists from Deny. Then Zack Attack, he's on Houston -7. He says, buy that hook. Lay the -120, -130, whatever your book has. That half a point matters most of the time. Gentlemen, let's be active over the weekend. Let's stay positive over the weekend. And let's see how that golf turns out as well. Scotty Scheffler, if you didn't tell me, it's your own fault because I told you, don't bet on anybody else, just Scotty Scheffler. You guys didn't want to listen to me. He went 3-0, dominant so far. So with all that being said, it's been a really good week. But we're here every single day. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. AB and the crew continuing the Elite Eight because that's what we do. We grind. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these N5 tickets straight to the pay window. For our entire crew, love them all. Zack Attack, Maestro, EC, and my man, the Speculator. And AB always doing the work behind the scenes. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. You want to have fun? You want to learn a little bit, educate and entertain? You know all the sayings. It's what we're all about here at the Early Edge. And sometimes, yes, rarely, but sometimes we do it in 5. Good luck.